maps, even when things are very, very difficult, when they're getting strained, when they're getting pushed to their limits. Now, BAAM, however, their journey here was not as clear-cut. Definitely impressing everyone, however, but well, they're going to be starting it off right now in the first pistol round here. And interesting statistic for you: BREN really lose the first pistol round a lot of the time. The last map, Haven, that was an outlier. We actually have a running tab on how many rounds BREN actually win, but so far I think their statistic is +4 in terms of overall wins here. And that's not a good statistic, especially when they play a lot of other teams who may be weaker than them in their current VCT. So, still, we're going to head on over to A again, as it looks like Big BAAM will re-aggress, and they will manage to somehow secure that A site off the back of BREN, giving it up, relinquishing it for those retakes here. Spike will finally be planted, and now we do begin in a 5v5.
It is going to be that TK fadeaway shot on Borkum as he just tries to get out of harm's way. There's going to be some shock darts being thrown by Crazy Guy just to keep them in tabs, but there comes the dash in from Dubstep, but there's just too many blinds. Wits, though, on the retaliate. That's going to leave them a little bit of a stretching mark. 2 versus 2. 2 underneath on Hell here, and NTK has to hold firm. There's one more. Crazy Guy has to rush out. He's making a lot of noise. Dispenser finally off of the spike, and he gets off with his life, and Crazy Guy comes in clutch for BAAM to take that pistol.
Pistol round yet again for BAAM, and honestly, I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of the games for BREN just go so close is because I feel like there's a lot of problems in the pistol round, because that's still, you know, 2 rounds that you, and sometimes 4 in the game. Where if you lose pistols, you basically lose 4 big rounds, especially when it goes towards overtime.
That really does set the pace, right? Again, I think we've mentioned this before, that compared to other tactical shooters, and maybe it's most compared shooter with like CS, right? Valorant is very momentum based. With how short the rounds are, you really need to get everything and anything as a form of advantage for you. And Big BAAM having themselves that first nice little round will give them a bit of solace. Nice little destruction onto the Sova drone there. Keeps at least Borkum, concealed, but not concealed enough as it gets scanned out by Big BAAM. That's going to be another kill onto Wits as well. And Dubstep just going to be holding the lurk here around the corner, the precipice of the smoke, as he waits for the rest of BREN to come in for that response.
Crazy Guy with a nice triple. This should secure the round here. Okay. Really going for those. 4 kills for him. And Crazy Guy, he's already got Hunter's Fury up.
Scanning ahead.
Hunter's Fury.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Just a little fun fact. And he's going to get the A. Oh, NTK. No ace for you.
NTK, meaning no to kill. Oh.
No to kill. I don't think that's what it means, but we'll run with it for now.
There's so many possible meanings. Like, you know how he got that 3K a while ago? Nice try, kid. And then no to kill. What else?
How about we just ask him what...
We can probably do that.
Yeah, we could probably just ask NTK what it means.
Yeah, you know, if they win this and we get interview, that's the one interview question I'm gonna be asking. What does NTK mean?
If BAAM... Oh no, Dubstep.
Oh, Dubstep's getting sucked in. Both of them getting sucked in by the gravity well. Oh. Okay, Borkum just charging out with the help of Dubstep, or in replacement of Dubstep there. That keeps them a little bit safer, and just out of nowhere, a leaping Trailblazer hunts down on mid. That's some distance leap for you.
Yeah, that's like some Olympics long jump stuff that we just saw from that Trailblazer, but still, they still have 5 full rifles on BREN. How are they going to hold this defense right now? The orbs, they're going to be taken here. They know. They have heard this.
Bit of cut noise for BAAM. You did mention that there was a little bit heard, but not big enough. There's 40 seconds on the clock. They need to start making some waves here. And Dorf, he's jumping up. I'm wondering if he wants to get the orb there, but that will give them information or give them off. But it seems like the recon dart was the one that was thrown that spotted out their positioning. Now it's going to be Dispenser and the rest to just back away first. This is still the bonus round for BAM, and the perfect time for Bren to just hold fast into the back of the site. Dispenser's going to be spraying wild, and he is just a beast. To turn around for Pina. Not going to be too quick, and that's going to be Wits to finish off, and Bren with a point on the board.
It's a very good round right there from Bren. Staves off the bonus round, but still it was a little bit expensive. They lost 2 players, but I feel like they'll be able to reinvest into this round. No, it's not going to be very clean cut. They will be able to drop Wits. Okay, Wits I think has to go on that very shoddy half armor buy. He can't refresh his armor because he has to drop for Dispenser. A nice tap right there from Dubstep, but no escape plan on that one. Fully committing to the spray down. Trade was immediate, to say the least.
Racing is charging right in, but didn't use his ultimate, knowing that Dorf was already on the fast lurk on short. Wits is gonna be just holding the fort here. The duelist Sky, but is his positioning gonna get flushed out? He's pushing forward. He wants to get the takedown here, which he does onto Red Neville. That could have been a possibility. Onto the revive, which is not gonna happen. Dispenser is already on the big lurk, but they've leave themselves with a bit of solace on this turret. Getting wide swung. He's going to get spotted. Well, he already has. Down to 55. And he still has to deal with the utility being thrown his way. Both as that turret and Shock Dart finds its mark.
There was just so much utility that he had to deal with. He had to deal with the turret, the Nano Swarm, the Shock Darts, the Recon Bolt, and 2 players from Big BAM. I mean, there's just no way. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. And that's why it's so hard to have like a Sova and Killjoy combination towards the end of the half. There's just so much utility for that post plant that if you haven't cleared utility earlier in the round, it just makes it so difficult. Great shot there from NTK to find Wits.
That is going to start things off. Vash, okay, he's going to use his beloved Guardian. He's going to be the hero buy for the rest here, keeping nobody close to pick up his weapon. Dorf is going to find another crazy guy on the lurk as well, and the timing for Big BAM, it's much tighter now and actually cleaner. Jesse Bash is going to get spotted. He's going to throw in a couple of his utility here and there, but that's not really going to stop the B side being overwhelmed by Big BAM as they come in transition, and it's going to be left into the hands of Dubstep and Jesse Bash to clutch, but Dubstep really only has the Sheriff, and we'll see if he can try to convert that in this 2v5.
Getting flanked right here by Dorf, and that should be enough to claim his scalp here as Dubstep will be swiftly dispatched and disposed of right there by NTK. 4-1 right now. Big BAM. We've got a 3-round lead. They're currently, I'd say they've got a little bit of a cushion, 3-round cushion in their map choice. This is not something that is unexpected. Everybody expected BAM to maybe even take this game up against Bren. Would be an upset if Bren actually stole this game away from BAM. But still, BREN ESPORTS, they're looking to do it here. Operator does finally come out for Dubstep. Jesse Vash and Dispenser have their ultimates available. It's a very good round here for Big BAM, and Crazy Guy, he's already... Crazy Guy and Dorf, they have their ultimates as well, so there's a lot of ultimates available here. Oh.
Budget smokes being thrown the way of Dubstep. And he's going to get smoked out slightly. This peak from NTK is going to be huge. That gravity well, keeping them honest, has to force them back. Borkum and Dubstep still do have a position here. Nice little lockdown on the A side itself, but not really any trades to come off from either side. And with this operator, they can take such a slow pace. And as long as Dubstep's vision is not blocked, this is going to be so difficult. He had a face-to-face with Red Neville there. Justin Bash is going to activate the ultimate, but he's spitting out facts on mid, but there's nothing really there except for maybe just Crazy Guy and Pina or Dorf, who are already at the B main area.
Right here.
Oh,
You should run.
seems like there's not going to be much stopping here.
30
Dorf
seconds
is going to
left.
be activating that lockdown. Jesse Bash, is he going to try and go for the peak? Yes, he does. Can maybe get a chance to destroy that ultimate. Looks like that's going to be a no. Red Neville has already revived his teammate. He'll be charging in. Tags a couple. Jesse Bash is to the back of the site, and Dispenser, yeah, he's a pretty easy pinata for Pina. Dorf gonna have to back away. Spike will get planted down, and Wits as well as Dubstep simultaneously knocked off of the game. And that's gonna be Red Neville to put a final pin in that particular round. 5-1, and Big Bam, they come up huge in that round. Jesse Bash looks like he was just about to rummage through the rest of them on B main, but he got quickly dispatched just before he could find that huge impact play that he was looking for.
Just, you know, and just like the just like we said earlier, just a very expensive round here from BREN. An operator gone, a lot of ultimates gone, expended in that one, and BREN take a big loss on that. It's just nothing is really working right now for BREN, and they don't look very confident or comfortable here on Ascent here. Meanwhile, Big BAAM, they're very happy to just play all the way back. Dubstep with a nice fade away. No way you can punish that. That is absolutely worth it. That's a Sage removed. Red Neville left scratching his head after that play from Dubstep.
Dubstep still holding a close angle here to double down with Wits. If they're not careful, this is going to be a perfect crossfire by the BREN duo. Seems like Big BAAM will respect that. There is some utility for Crazy Guy. No more Sova drone though, so they can't really try to clear out these nooks and crannies. Dubstep, thankfully enough, hasn't really rushed out of short, so that's going to leave them some form of rotation from mid all the way to the B side. They're looking straight at it. And as you mentioned, there's not really much weapons for BREN here, but they are lethal with the pistol. We saw on Haven, they can hit those thrifty buys. And Dispenser, it seems like it was supposed to be the 1v3, but he had his buddy with him. It's the turret. No one's going to be at the back of the B side, but it's a 5v3 with weapons dropped somewhere on mid. They can try to pick it up. They can try to reclaim it and use it for this retake. This is going to be really difficult. And with that wall being thrown by Pina, this has put Crazy Guy in an island. He has to back away first for now because he could get swarmed.
I don't think they can recover the rifles. Especially one being in B main. Oh, Dubstep misses that opportunity. Crazy Guy holding strong, holding firm. They're trying to play around this. This Dispenser has managed to finally find him, but he's got two players to deal with still onto the site. Does have a rifle in his hands and not really a lot of time here. It should be just here to make it expensive as he can. As he finds one, keeps the economy of Big BAAM relatively honest for now, as we find ourselves in a 6-1 scoreline. Big BAAM taking charge in a very, very convincing way. Crazy Guy, 12-2. Look at that, 12-2 for Crazy Guy. An amazing, amazing run from this Sova main.
And he translates even the most difficult of scenarios with him still getting 2 kills off of that. Because even if his opponents were just on the pistols, the amount of angles that he had to try to look at was very restrictive or choking, I would say. And he still wiggled out a nice win and was able to gravitate 3 members of BREN towards him, which did leave the ones at the back of the site to deal with lesser members as they were trying to get the postman in their favor. And Big BAAM has forced BREN to go straight into this tactical timeout. This was a really good step in the direction for BREN here, or for Big BAAM rather, and they have so much money to just throw towards BREN if ever they need to. And this is looking pretty good. Big BAAM's reads have also been on point.
They have been looking like the overall better team right now, Big BAAM. Not only are they winning their duels, they're keeping their ecos clean. They're, you know, being able to get early picks in the round. And it seems like BREN Esports They haven't really found a way to address that just yet. Perhaps with a little bit more aggressive play, perhaps with a little bit more map control towards mid. It's difficult to say. But what I do know for certain is that Big BAAM are just coming into this map with just such impetus. Even though they lost the first map, they have that momentum building up in their side right now. They've got their full force right now charged up and ready to go. And BREN they just have no answers for everything that Big BAAM is throwing their way.
Couple of smokes being used already by Borkum here. And Big BAAM, they've again kind of just went silent. Witt's still going to be able to spot a few. I don't think he was able to spot the spike, but as time is ticking and there's not really a lot more utility, this could be something. Gravity Well has been used once more. That's going to be a trade by Red Neville, and Borkum converts. That's going to be a possibility for him, but Hina holding at the back has to go plant the spike now, but Dubstep has to scan. He can't scan quickly enough to spot out NTK, leaving only Jesse Bash for this clutch scenario. The problem with this is Bash doesn't really have anything anymore in terms of utility, does he? And Crazy Guy, what? Was he already with an op at the start of this game? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he was. There was an op at the start of this round. And eventually he found the pick. Cool, huh?
Yeah. Again, he's known as a sniper player back in his CS days.
Yeah, he
so
was.
I was already
so
expecting it.
For those of you guys who don't know who Crazy Kid is, I'm sorry, Crazy Guy, excuse me. Crazy Guy is one of the best Vietnamese snipers back in the CS days, as he used to play the op. And now that he's transitioning towards that, he has successfully transitioned here into Valorant, has been one of. He hasn't really been getting to play much op, but he's still very comfortable on it, as you can see there. These pushes just from BREN, they're just not working, man. They're just not. They try this aggression towards A every round, but BAAM are so happy to give it up or contest it, and they win every single time.
It's crazy to kind of point it out, right? Or point out that fact with Crazy Guy, because he's also from a team called Sky Red back in the day, where he was invited to DreamHack EU, and that he was like getting like positive kills over screams. That's saying something for Crazy Guy. Anyways, there was a nice double peek out there from BREN. Did kind of expend, made it a little bit expensive from Torf, but Crazy Guy, he's doing the same thing that Dubstep does, but on a jet. This is quite enticing. Still, Witch does have a really good weapon. But Dubstep comes in with the big flag. I didn't even notice that. He just jumped up, and everybody was looking the opposite direction. BREN, they can have thrifty rounds, and this is a team that can always find success with those weaker buys.
7-2. What?
I'm gobsmacked. That was out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly.
Just hate it when people are just like, That's the only thing to say to you. But,
yeah, Dad.
Three rounds left in this half. Dad, where have you been? 3 rounds left in this half. As Big BAAM, they are very much in charge here. Large and in charge. They're the Big BAAM. Boom. Dubstep, he's been trying to get these picks. And this is where it starts to get a little bit worrying because, oh my god, he goes for that jump peek. That's disgusting. No way. No way. What on earth? That works? For him.
Well, if you're Dubstep, if you're a jet that has a dash, your propensity to try to make the riskier shots, just keep pulling that trigger off. Borkum's just going to be hiding in the smoke, and the Spencer again just in his tiny little corner of the world. But you know what? That's all that he really needs. Crazy Guy converting with the operator, and that was huge with the recon once more. 30 seconds though. He can try to pick up another weapon, but he's going to try to deal with one first. Nobody actually flanking hard from behind him. It's just Dubstep waiting for maybe the rotation. So if he can isolate, this is a 2 versus 1. on the A site, but Dubstep is so near him. He's just waiting for a chance. But Jesse Bash just sprays it hard with the Odin, and that's all that it's going to be for this round.
2 more for BREN eSports to bring us to 75. A 75 scoreline would be respectable. Actually, you know what? Even an 8-4. BREN, they just want to avoid a 9-3 here. Actually, no, I take that back. I think BREN want a 7-5 because they'll probably lose the pistol. It's just the way of the world, man. It's just the way that things are. But, you know, BREN have been trying to improve those pistols. And
Yeah.
look at this, though. Big BAAM, four big ultimates on their side.
How dare Borkum have the Ruination Blade and not have it fully upgraded?
Does he not have it fully upgraded? I didn't
Yeah,
see.
it's a broken blade.
You know, some people like that aesthetic, you know.
yeah. Even with the Prime Dagger.
Oh, NTK, he's getting caught off here. Dispenser, he's alive, and that's a hold and a half here. Ultimates or not, BREN is able to make a flawless. All right, and they're making things interesting here. I thought BAAM were going to start running away with this game, but now BREN have been picking things up. After a flawless round like that, that just boosts their confidence so much more here into this game. And the denial of that Cosmic Divide as well, it's a very good pickup to have. Still 4 ultimates on Big BAAM though, because they still have the Lockdown, the Hunter's Fury, the Blade Storm, and importantly as well, the Res. They're gonna see what they can do with it here, but Dubstep looking for yet again another engagement here towards B main. Nobody really jumped. He's looking up, like up there, because he's wondering if anybody will jump peak. But doesn't look like it. Not right now.
Jesse Bash threw out a recon dart towards A main. I'm pretty sure that was towards A main. That's going to spot them maybe later on. But there is nobody holding the A site. This is perfect for BAAM to just strike in, strike fast. Because they don't have the information as to where Dubstep is, you don't want to pull the trigger. And they've already gotten a taste of that. We'll just play passive and wait for you just a teeny tiny bit. Dispenser, what a shot! Through the gravity well, gets sucked in. This is going to be the close on the door, but Pina and Red Neville, they got to come big. Okay, NTK is back on the board. That's going to be at least a little bit more of a retaliation here for Big BAAM on their post plan, but they gotta run now because, yep, there is going to be that lockdown. Pina trying to run for his life. Red Neville, as well as the other healthier player, NTK, is going to be on the close contact. Dubstep gets a 4K already, and he just demolishes the rest. I didn't even see how
yeah,
he
we
just
barely saw
got
that. That was
4K.
all in the blink of an eye. Just so quick, we couldn't even pick. Kind of like how, you know how in Dragon Ball they just fight so fast that you can't see him? How was that? That's what that was. They just went Ultra Instinct on us.
Oh, yeah.
Weeb.
Right here.
You're the one who mentioned it.
Yeah, but you got the reference. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. You got it.
So was the Weaver. The Weaver of us. Oh, happy days. 7-5, second half. And BREN needed as many rounds as possible on that first half, especially when they were slipping away a little bit. And as you mentioned, pistol round never really goes the way of BREN in most scenarios, but we'll see if they can have a perfect record in these 2 games. They already got the pistol in the first game. We'll see if they can get another one as a quick pull and trigger once again. Recon darts will be spotting on Red Neville, but thankfully enough, a wall is there just to keep them in their tracks. He's going to be backing away. Don't think he has a slow orb anymore. But you know what? They have their own human slow orb, and that is NTK popping shots through heaven. Spencer's just going to be lurking hard, maybe giving some options for BREN to try to work their magic through B. But those are some really good stuff to start off here for Big BAAM on their defense.
Dispenser is looking mighty fine right now. He's able to get a couple of shots in and a lot of map control towards B main. It's a good read right now, and that's a good fake to make. Just the footsteps to leave there. Then they're going to double back on it. There's only 2 players here standing for Big BAAM. BREN ESPORTS, they could burst through the site in a big way. That's the smoke now coming out. Will be deployed. And that's going to be it. Hit towards that site here. Dorf completely stunned, completely flashed. No way he gets a shot in. Nothing he can do about that. But just hold back and wait. It's going to be a 4v4 retake here on the pistol round. BREN are looking in a good spot.
Looking incredible. To be honest, they have everything that they need, and they don't even have to like run around or run away. What's gonna get spotted by that recon dart is gonna be the first contact for Crazy Guy. Dubstep's down to 2, but this Nano Swarm is just setting them up for disaster. NTK can it take him out of this bad situation? That's gonna be a big fat no as Big BAAM gets denied, and BREN, they won their second pistol. It's looking pretty fantastic here, and they're looking with these rounds with a good economic stance.
They're so 50-50 on their pistols. Okay, at least now it's like, BREN lose pistols 100%. Now it's kind of like 50-50. So it's getting there, you know, it's getting there. I do want to point out that turret was just such a big problem from BAAM. Look at that. It's free firing on everybody all through that round. And they couldn't deal with the turret, especially on a pistol round. It's one of the most annoying things in the game to deal with that Killjoy turret.
It's an unfortunate turn of events here. But no, BAAM, they will have to try to make something out of nothing with this pistol. BREN is taking a very slow pace into this. You think they just try to just charge in onto short there, get that forward control, but they're taking this as creepily as possible. Not in a creepy way, but more of like they're just creeping up. I don't know how to go about that. Witz has already spotted NTK. He could just try to mark him and not let him escape on pizza, but oh no, the timing on Red Neville.
Oh,
that is just unfortunate.
Well, again, it is just the eco around here, but okay. Pina's gonna be mad about that. Yeah, he's just hanging out in the smoke, but in the end, it's gonna be very inconsequential regardless. As 7-6 is where we find ourselves. Jesse Vash has picked up a Spectre. Did he just pick one up off the floor, or did he trade with someone? I think he traded with someone, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Yeah, but because he wants to go in. He wants to go for a push and a flash and a spray down right there from the two players here from BREN, and they're even going to catch off Dorf, looking completely the wrong way. 7-7. We've got a tie yet again, and it's a comeback situation yet again for BREN. How many times have we seen comebacks in this tournament, Asterai? How many times?
A few times.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
There were a lot of
on the spot.
How
there,
did you
man?
get that in there? How did he get that Nano Swarm in there? Is that?
Yeah, sometimes you just have to jam it in, you know. I mean, the Nano Swarm, dude. You got to find the nice little lineup.
Okay. As long as you can break it, it's all good. But Red Neville, he's gonna get spotted out, and that's gonna be the wall decimated, melted away here. Dubstep will get a little bit of a peek there onto that A side, and they've actually committed 4 bodies of their players here towards that A on the side of BAAM. And they're gonna be cheating away another player. It's gonna rotate that Crazy Guy all the way there towards mid, just to help bolster the potential defensive hold that they will be needing very soon, as Dorf is the only one remaining onto that site for now. But with a minute left, they can still work those angles. They can still play that defensive, and so they're gonna be burying themselves towards the back of that site here. A crossfire now being set up by BAAM. Can BREN break through it?
The util is just on B main towards lane. Nothing
they managed to
really...
pick the rotates. They managed to pick the rotates. Look at that. Dorf. That fake was so good right there, but Crazy Guy, a great shock dart to find. But that's going to be the site in their position regardless. They fell for it hook, line, and sinker, but with Wits being dead, out of the picture. No way to heal Dubstep and Borkum, who have like 24 HP cumulatively. And this is going to be a tough hold, if anything, right now. Dispenser, he's one of the only players who still have HP on him. He's dropped to 69. pretty nice for now, as it's going to be Dorf to look to entry here. He's going to get the first. He's going to get the spot right there towards the back, but Dubstep with 21 cannot do it. A great fake, but can't convert the round.
I have no idea how Crazy Guy was able to convert that kill with the shock dart. That was
I didn't
out
see
of
where
nowhere.
it landed, yeah. Where was it?
I think it was all the way through B main. I think like the entrance to B main, he got that one.
Was it a double shock dart or just a one shock dart?
I think just the one, and then maybe some pop shots through somebody from spawn from CT. So that's something. That's gonna at least keep the lead slightly, very, very, very slightly in the favor of Big Bam. And by that I mean because BREN have full markers to just buy aggressive. Dubstep not even gonna go for the cheaper route and use the blades. He's gonna go full baller on this and buy phantoms with the rest of the squad, which is just gonna be looking to get himself that quick little dart or orb charge. But NTK, nitty and gritty, survives. Thankfully enough, Red Neville will be there to bump him up to 64. That's going to be fine. And BREN, they do not have a revival in this. 4v5 for the rest of the round.
No way to get him up after a quick flurry. I mean, a quick sequence of shots right there from NTK. Just a nice tap. Dubstep actually got him very, very low, but in the end, it's not going to matter here. But Wits looking to go for this timing. He's definitely got the angle on Red Neville. And has a flash. Could be 2 big kills. Again, NTK sitting pretty low, and Dispenser's found a double here on the lurk. Catches them in rotation, and that's the B side completely secure. That's going to call for them to go and make the rotate. They've made this round from a 4v5 into a 4v2. 2 quick kills here. And BREN, they generally don't make mistakes at this side. At this time, they're usually able to convert things like this, especially when you give them a lead. It might be worthwhile considering saving at this point here if you were BAAM, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Just not a lot of money in the bank for BAAM here, especially after the couple of losses that they've been taking previously, and they're going to have to save these two and keep them alive. Now, BREN knows this. BREN knows that the money for BAAM isn't exactly in the best place, while they have a little bit of cash to spare. So they're going to be going ahead and trying to hunt for those 2 remaining kills here, as they've managed to turn this around. Okay, the recon dart is going to keep things relatively interesting, as it doesn't really spot anyone, but there's an inkling. Now they know. They now know that they're holding a little bit together here towards A main, but can they line the shots up? Oh, they don't
not expect BREN to be able to pull that back. That was looking a little bit risky for them. Crazy Guy looking into the KDAs real quick. 17 kills on the top, while BREN, I think it's much more equally distributed. Dispenser as well as Dubstep, 14 kills apiece. And, you know, again, Dispenser, since he's been put on this Sentinel role, haven't really seen him like explode with highlights like what you saw way back when. But he does have his moments in the sun, but more so than not, his consistency has been his greatest trait. And Dubstep's greatest trait is these entry frags. He just gets out of nowhere, jumping up like that, and still converting with the blades in front of an opposition.
That is payback onto NTK. A little bit of poetic justice for that last tap that NTK gave to him in the previous round here. And these guys are going at it, man. These 2 duelists, they want a war, because right now it's just NTK versus Dubstep. That's the matchup that we're just starting to see. And in the first game, it was all Dubstep's show. Now NTK is starting to show up, but Dubstep, he does not want to lose. He's just charging for the meantime, though, as they now gather and create this amalgam of their forces here towards A site. They will congregate here towards that short area as well. And another entry. Dubstep, what are you doing? That's a trade-off, though. It's Dispenser for 1, and Jesse Vash to find another kill, leaving Crazy Guy all alone in a 1v4.
Well, they know where Crazy Guy is going to be coming from. Jesse Vash has been hit, but that is just a consolation to say at the least. Crazy Guys gotta try to convert this, but there's just too many opponents and everybody vying for his life. BREN has taken the lead in terms of the rounds once again, and Dubstep, as you mentioned, I mean, yeah, he was not able to get the kill on Red Neville, but the big thing, trying every single tight lock on BAM on the A side, and he just opened everything for BREN in that transition. Everybody was just looking at Dubstep, and he was gravitating all eyes on him, which led to the rest, the 4 other members of BREN, to just do what they do best. Follow up and secure the site.
Oh, that is his turn, but he loses his time when it's a swing and a miss right there. Dubstep is able to get alive, survive for now. It's a good try there for NTK, but this battle of duelists is all I could have ever wanted in this matchup right now, dude. NTK, one of the best in Vietnam, but he's losing right now. Dubstep, who's showing him the ropes. A triple kill for Dubstep as he secures another round for BREN. And they get a very, very decisive lead right now. 2 rounds ahead, and BREN have clawed their way back from an abysmal first half.
Jesse Vash and Borkum have yet to hit that double-digit kill marker, but in this type of scenario, in this type of situation, it's not really a bad thing. It just means that they're not put in a position where BAM forces them to try to go for these aggressive clutches, and they've been just supporting, throwing out utility, and opening or helping take the sites in general. Well, that phone knows NTK is going to be into the corner, dashes away, but not enough into the grasp of Dubstep, who is just a man unleashed, and he is looking for another. Dwarf is going to back away here. He's going to get pincered in by Dispenser, but still able to translate so quick and just barely threads the needle. Dwarf now has to go back, knows that one is already on market.
Oh, if he gets hit by this dog, he's dead.
Goes around it. He's good, but the flick. Wits with 1 HP.
And 1 is all he needs, Asarai. 1 is all he needs. He got triple kill. I thought he was going to get killed off by the dog right there. But at the same time, the Trailblazer just not landing. 11-8, Big BAM again will be on an ego. This is the chance for BREN to put Big BAM in a very, very bad spot here. Not the nail in the coffin just yet. BREN should secure map point off of this, but after that, BAM will have a bye. And that's not a lot of rounds, it separates them, but it might be enough for BREN to secure, because as time goes by, this is something that I think both BAM and BREN are known to do. They wake up. Game number 2, they are starting to heat things off. But BREN looking like they're just a little bit hotter.
And they're looking at such an advantage here. BAM can only manage this bit of a scrappy buy. And BREN, all they really have to do now is just wait just a moment. Big BAM, they have that issue where sometimes they're a bit too eager to go for that initial peak, as what we saw, I think, with Cerberus and BREN. And to be honest, BREN's like just crossing out Vietnamese teams in the playoffs, if you think about that. Anyways, though, Red Neville's going to get spotted. NTK is going to be in the close corner. His right click
He's
not
still
really fatal. Yeah, sometimes it do be like that, and that is going to allow BREN to just rush into the side. But hold that thought, Pina as well as Red Neville here to counter. But BREN, they've escaped. They're just going to call for the B rotation.
Psych.
No chance.
Oh, double psych.
Double psych. We're going to B as they now start this rotate. Dubstep, never going to miss that shot right there. Too crispy, too clean. And they're going to secure this B side completely for free. Wits is lurking towards it.
Spike planted.
Did he not see him? Or what exactly happened there?
Might have not seen
I thought
him.
Wits was speaking out for a second, but I guess he wasn't.
Match point.
All right, no, maybe he's
Hey,
looking at
real
his
quick
minimap.
question, Asarai. What color do you use on your enemies in Valorant? Do you use the red or the yellow or the purple?
Purple.
Peeps. I gotta
Okay,
visit the
just
Aswad
wondering.
stick.
I use the yellow.
Because yellow's, it blends too much with the background for me. And I can see purple much easier when
might-
nothing's purple.
I might try purple, but 12-8. BREN, match point. This is their chance to put the nail on the coffin. The lid, Patrick, the lid on this game. But Dubstep yet again, how many first bloods has this man managed to get here? I think he was smoked off through that as well. And he is just on a tear, a warpath, a man, as you said, unchained. As NTK catches off Dispenser trying to go for that lurk there towards mid. Now they also have a flank coming up right here from Dorf. He's going to go all the way around towards spawn. So BREN, they've got to decide, and they have to act fast right now. But actually Dorf is going to double back. Going to double check mid here a little bit. And instead Dubstep is going to look to go for this entry right now in this 4v4.
I've got your trail.
Seekers will be deployed here as they do come into the site, and nobody's really budging just yet. They finally decide to go for it. It's actually Dubstep to play a little bit back. The door has yet to be closed off. Pina just behind the smoke.
Spike planted.
Oh, this is going to be a rather difficult retake now, isn't it? They have everything that they need. There's going to be the lockdown used by Dorf. That's going to be something. Crazy guy, he knows that somebody could be creeping up on Tetris there, so he just waits for a moment. But Wits is about to hit a double kill if they're not careful. He only gets a singular, throwing out the wall immediately. They do get a containment on one,
they didn't
but
hear it.
Dubstep is waiting for the edge, but not going to be able to get more than that. And as you mentioned, they did not hear it because of the one factor. But that wall muffles so much noise on the other side.
That was a great
extra money if
retake
anyone needs.
right there from BAAM. Just when you think things were starting to get a little too scary, but the money's not that good onto BREN. Look at that. They are on 3 rounds apart, and Pina is sitting at... for BAAM. Pina is sitting at a Bulldog. So despite the fact that they won that round pretty convincingly, it's still BREN with an economical advantage coming into this one. But they do have NTK. Oh, Dubstep. This barrel just peeking out right now. But they know that NTK likes to play this angle here in mid. And it's again the two duelists who will be facing off head-to-head here towards mid. Who's going to emerge victorious? Nobody really just peeking for now. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a bait and switch as the bait works perfectly. Dorf being the bait for NTK and claims the scalp of Dubstep, outsmarting him in this one instead of out-aiming him.
So plenty of chances here for BREN. They've got so many rounds that their economy is in the best shape that they can actually have it on. They've rotated back. They've lost Dubstep a little bit, so the pace slightly slower. Spencer's going to be looking for some scans. Almost gets decapitated by Dorf, but thankfully enough was not get hit at all. He's still 150. With the rest of BREN looking right behind him, he could be just looking at a cosmic divide, separate the entirety of the site, and then close in on Dorf and Crazy Guy. And this is it. They pulled the trigger. Here we go.
This is the commitment right now. BREN, they've got a couple of flashes in. They're definitely stunned and rocked right now, but they're at the same time, BREN is stifled. They cannot get onto this site. The Cosmic Divide has been deployed, but still, with only 14 seconds left and 2 players on the backside to dispatch of, it doesn't look like it as NTK with 3. Doesn't get more than that here, but oh, it's going to be Wits to allow his team to get that plant just in the nick of time. 2v2, and they've had to go for an awkward plant. But can they actually get out of this situation as Witty goes down and BAAM hang on for one more round? That is a 10-2, 12 scoreline here. BAAM keeping the dream alive for the Vietnamese squad. They want to hang on in this upper bracket.
NPK made me a bit nervous there because he was whiffing. I think the last blade was the thing that was the hit that reset his ultimate. Because
took a minute. It did.
They're all right. They're all right.
Yeah.
BREN, they do have the money, but they want to close this game out. They want to close the last round for this series win, and that's why they called tactical. And again, always a smart decision. As you mentioned, BAAM not really at the best shape in terms of their economical standing. NTK still does go and pick himself up an operator, and he can't hit those shots. And now in ASCENT, I think he does have the impact frags that can really be taken and converted properly to win the round.
That's one of the things that's so interesting here about. Wait, is this a tactical timeout?
Yes.
This is a long tactical timeout.
Well,
Okay,
maybe they
there you go.
didn't use, the
Maybe they
first
used
one,
two.
so
Yeah.
it doubled up.
It stacked up.
I'm pretty sure that's not possible, but yeah.
No, you can't do that. Okay, but again, I think a lot of it has to deal with how BREN are going to approach this round. They have two ultimates, the Seekers and the Lockdown. What I like about these two in conjunction is that if anybody has managed to sneak away in a corner into a place in the Lockdown that you haven't really checked, that's what the Seekers are for. And so it's going to allow them actually a perfect take onto site. There's no way to cancel these out here on BAM. There's no ultimates. There's no ultimates for BAM. This is a very, very good plan start for BREN on this half here. In this potential last round. That's a good tag as well. They have information towards B. They've given up market right now, sure, but what can they do off of it? They know dubstep is here, but where are BREN going to go? They have options, and that's what's important. They're going to start that lockdown right there. Could it get destroyed? It's actually not going to get destroyed. Still stays up right there, and that could be a problem here. NTK is going to get one pick off. The Seeker is going to come through right now. This allows him to get onto site. Dubstep looking to push the envelope, and he was going to line up one more before he goes and dashes away. Could have been a big round for him, but that's all he wrote for now. Still, a 4v4 to come in, and they're going to get that spike planted down. Just a little bit of patience now being displayed here by Big BAM, and they're going to want to take their time on this retake.
They will be, but they have to win it because, again, this is going to be the last round for them. Very tall task. Nobody's on B main. Everybody's on the B side itself, but Witz is on the first. That's going to be Dorf expending him, and Dubstep and Borkum to remain. They double stacked up on stairs. They're backing away. This gravity well keeps them contained for now, but the trade is positive, and Borkum is hiding, containing, anchoring for Dubstep to get that clutch, but it's not going to happen. And BAM, they still live, and they need just a teeny tiny one more round to push it to another overtime.
Are we going to another overtime, Masterai? I mean, okay, wait, no, I don't want to jinx it. I would like to go to another overtime, but I don't want to curse it, and so I'm not going to say it out loud, although I just did.
Yeah,
shoot, I just blew it.
That's not how you. That's not how you get out of a jinx, bro.
Yeah, how does one get out of the jinx? I don't have any Hagsbane or anything like that. Okay, just the dubstep now. The dubstep coming with the op. The op coming up for dubstep. I want to see how he goes for this. In the previous map in Haven, dubstep got a lot of entries with that operator. And so that is going to be a very crucial thing here in this one. Can he recreate that success here? It's a little bit more difficult on Ascent, but it should still very well be possible. Now, Crazy Guy with 6 HP, he's going to go and get topped off right there by the Sage. It's not the best heal in the world anymore. I mean, he's probably going to be at 68 or something like that. 66 to be specific. And it's a little bit weird that the dedicated healer in this game won't heal you to full. I think they should buff it again. Heal. Little bit.
It's all right.
No, feels bad, bro. It feels bad as a Sage, because Sky can heal a bunch of people to full,
but that doesn't go on cooldown. You can use it later on into the round. But Red Devil don't need to heal when he's the one draining all the HPs of BREN here. Jesse Vash, always good for the one with the ultimate. It's converted to the 3 versus 3. The Spencer's Lurk is going to get snuffed out. And I think Big BAM, they already know what's going to be coming. It's the quick rotation, but they've kind of doubled themselves up. They've second-guessed it, and B site is going to be the baby for BREN. Nanoswarm is there. Dorf is hearing it. Activates it just in the nick of time, and he does not hit the kill on the one who is carrying the spike. So it's going to be the 2v3 retake once more. Unfortunately, but this is where they have everything for them. And Jesse Bash and Borkum are going to be the ones to try to hold and fend off and get this series already in their pockets.
Oh, this is pretty much it right here. Jesse Bash. Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. What is this crazy series that we're doing? Yeah, that just... The moment that Jesse Bash got caught out of position and spotted by the turret, I think they could have held off on the plant a little bit longer, actually,
Switching
Bren,
sides.
just to be able to get Jesse Bash in a
Overtime.
better position. But the moment that Spencer gets caught off as well, it just becomes a difficult prospect here. We're going to overtime again, and potentially to game number 3. Bren looking a little bit confused, and just both of these teams looking truly very much on par with one another.
Such a back and forth tussle, and it's happened twice. We're going to overtime on an ASCENT map. Oh, well, if history repeats itself, Bren should win this. And we'll see how.
But this isn't their map pick.
True. I do expect that if Big BAM don't get themselves the first overtime win, the series victory, I mean, this might go in favor of Bren, just because of how we know Bren can really hold and just persevere and just, again, not really lose steam, even on the overtime rounds.
Yeah. You have to remember that. Oh, great pick. NTK starting to win the duels against Dubstep. And Red Neville, he's going to get a little bit too antsy on that. He's trying to sneak his way into Wine right there. Dispenser barely gets out of that situation. And one thing I do want to point out again, Asura, is, BAM, they're a team that, actually not just BAM, the entire Vietnamese region, they were a region with a lot to prove. The fact that they've gotten already this far means that they've proven everyone wrong about their expectations, that they've gone further than all expectations already. If they take a win here against Bren, maybe take it to map number 3 and take it then, the prospect that Vietnam could be one of the top teams in the region is going to be absolutely scary here. But now, they still have to deal with Borkum. He's still on the site, and he is just gone right now. BAM looking like they're primed and ready to take the first map here. They're going to take advantage here in overtime as 3 players left standing for Bren on a retake. Oh, very, very difficult on A.
It is, but Jesse Vashi's bringing Odin to a rifle fight, and the wall bangs will show. 3 versus 3. They still do have Dorf. He's down to 6 HP, but has the utility to stave off the members of Bren.
Oh, he can't even play Hell because of the spam of the Odin. He's definitely afraid right now. This could go awry. Dispenser getting 1. Dorf on 6. He manages to get 1 still. Crazy guy is up. He's going to tap away at the spike. Dispenser. Wait. No way he sticks this. No way he sees it. Oh, he goes for it yet again, but will not be able to land that shot. He gets another, but Dorf with 6 HP somehow, finding the crucial kill against Dispenser.
Switching sides.
And that's going to be advantage in overtime here for BAM. We are very, very close to getting map number 3, Asarai, and this is the series that is delivering. We said that Bren and BAM, this is going to be a good one. But to go 2 overtimes and this close at the... Wow, definitely not what we expected here.
It is something that has taken us for a ride, for a spin. But you know what? We're here enjoying every single moment, every bit of it. And Bren, well, we've seen this last game. They're able to wiggle one out. But this might be a different formula here. This might be a different outcome as BAM is looking pretty on point. NTK able to back away, but he's used the dash already. Has to look for a more passive angle, if at all ever. Not really re-peeking the mid, just in case Dubstep and the rest are just hunting him down. And speaking of which, Sober Drone has been used. That's going to spot out NTK for now. Gets tagged. Got to be careful about the wall bangs and just smartly backs away. Still holding on mid here just in case. But the rest of Bren, through all that confusion, is looking to explode from short. And with that, Red Neville as well as Pina will be the ones to hold the fort here as the rest of Bren are looking aggressive on that one side.
Still a 5v5. A lot of map control garnered here by Bren as they successfully even taken control over all the way towards Market. It just means that there's a lot of fear here for BAM. They do not want to overcommit to it. The alarm bot will spot out 1. And they're going to allow themselves 2-player here towards B. Dorf, he sees 1. The trigger discipline to spot him out. They still haven't dealt with him. And they finally do here, but that's going to be a shock dart to actually claim him. Crazy guy, still good right now and alive here with 12 seconds left. His position is known. Can he make it any more difficult here for BREN. They cannot. As with 5 seconds left, they are able to plant the spike. And 3v3, BAAM in this retake. Can they take the win here? Can they bring us into game number 3? It's NTK to lead up the charge with an operator. He won't be entering first here, but Dubstep is going to be smoked out right now. But Borkman's good for one. Jesse Bash is good for another. Now it's all up to NTK here, the duelist. But can he line up the shots? And no, not to be. We're going to another overtime. BREN have taken us yet again to a double, and just when you think they're almost out of it, they pull you right back in.
That is so unfortunate for Big BAAM. That spot where Borkum places himself, where he just tucks him in the center of the site with the box being behind him, it's such a strong angle point because people don't really usually look through that spot, and it's like a double up position. BREN has been using that multiple times now just to be able to solidify the B side. Yeah, you can get punished for it, but not at the initial bout where BREN wants to have the most impact. Now, Dubstep is making some waves. He's looking through mid. Will get spotted by the Sova drone and just smartly backs away. Has to respect. He could get rushed out here if he's not careful. But BREN and the rest just looking to flash him out as he just repositions all the way through Market. Dorf is going to try to get the orb here. He fumbles a little bit, but there's still some time to just try to go around the mistakes. Red Neville eats a whole bunch of that Trailblazer. 30 damage. Not really easy to digest there. And with 50 seconds, BREN, they're looking good with how they've spread around the map.
Here.
Looking like a pretty fine peanut butter right now as BREN totally spread it out. But will they be able to jam their way into the B site? Looking like that's where the spike is going. You like that, Asrai? Peanut buttery jam.
You're the one who's making yourself more hungry. I'm
good. Yeah, it's good. In this overtime, we've got a couple more rounds potentially. I mean, we will have a couple more rounds. And it's going to be the boost up right there. The wall coming up right here from Crazy Guy. Can they actually get onto the site? Dispenser's good for the hold for now. He holds up onto one. The Nano Swarm is able to lock down Pina. They can't recover the spike here, but he's going to be swung from the side. And somehow he takes the planter down with him. No time! No time to plant at all. And they're just going to hide, turntail, and run. Borkum doesn't even matter if they have the man advantage, because that's going to be the round here. And BREN, what a miracle of a hold right there from Dispenser.
Crazy Guy, he was turning up big. He had 3 kills. It seems like they had no chance because Dispenser was just anchoring godly at the back of the B site, but Crazy Guy still turns up big for the rest of his team. The big problem now is that there was just no time. They were pushing outside of B main with 20 seconds remaining, Elu. And with that time, they just did not have enough to get the site plus plant that spike down. It really does put a hamper on things for Big BAAM here. They're now going to be on the defending side. But we'll see how this kind of pans out as BREN have everything that they really do need. They've left the spike all the way in their base, but what also they're trying to maybe do as of the moment is to try and waste util. Crazy Guy only got that slight bit of information with the Sova drone. And everything is still looking in the favor of BREN.
Yeah, definitely here. One more round for BREN Esports. Can't they take this and really show Big BAAM who's the big boss here? It is it has been an amazing run for the Vietnamese squad, but they're facing getting brought down to the lower bracket. They still have another life, mind you, and it's still, it's still in the books for them to make a comeback, especially towards the later stages. One of the strongest teams right now, but can't they find the decisive plays? Right now, the shot goes wide. It misses right now. This is a chance for BAAM, but Red Neville, he gets a double traded out by Wits. Now they're going to be barreling their way towards a little bit of a slower play, as they still have to deal with Pina, who's working their way back towards the site, and they get 2 versus 3 going up right now on this as the spike does go down here. Crazy Guy will have some utility with that recon to get a little information, and now get Jesse Vash here working with Borkum. Can they actually line them up? It's going to be NTK with a jumping getting right click. What the hell was that from NTK?
We gotta see his POV real quick there, dude. That was just nuts. NTK, he's slowly but surely grinding up the carry role for Big BAM here. That came in clutch, but definitely the true hero had to be Red Neville. This one was from that last round. Here comes the charge, and Red Neville gets a double. Could have been a triple spray down. Pina as well, dipping his toes in the kill department. And this one, I just would love to see that POV if possible. But with all said and done, BAM calls for the tactical timeout. They know that they only just barely won that round in, and they have to figure what else do they need to do, especially now that this attacking side not really their baby much anymore, actually.
That's another overtime. BAM. If, you know what the thing is, man, if BAM lose this game in another double overtime, how heartbreaking would it be? The first loss, heartbreaking enough for BAM from Vietnam. And to lose again in a second overtime, I can't imagine how distraught one would be after that. Because BREN, they're just inching out these rounds, but barely. BAM would have wished that you have to be in the utmost professional if you can shake off these losses like this, if they lose. Because it's just so difficult to come back from that mentally and emotionally. To put in so much work in a double, triple overtime and then to lose, it's just the worst feeling as a player.
Yeah. Thankfully enough for either of these teams, we still do have the lower brackets, but as I mentioned, Big BAM, I feel like they're a team that would definitely love to just be in safer waters for the rest of their tournament run here. And they have to go big or broke up against BREN. Still, BREN is looking to be on the safer distance. They do have Jesse Vash with an Odin, but Dorf expends him so quickly. Dispenser, he's just scanning. He's trying to sweep the position of NTK, but it's still not going to happen. Wait.
Jesse Vash jumped up on top of that wall for that kill. That was a very clever play right there to get it, and that's a 4v4 here. He's somehow managed to bring balance to it, and now they've got them all locked in towards that site. They know that I'm pretty sure they're convinced there's nobody towards back of B, and this is looking really good right now, but Spencer slowed down right there by the Nano. Can he actually stay alive? A crazy guy with the Odin getting the wall back onto Dispenser still, and that's a lot of utility being deployed as the utility from Dorf yet again making things impossible, and it's gonna be BAM yet again for the lead here. Now taking the reins in this overtime. They want map number 3. They want to go ahead in this playoffs, Asarai.
They just will not yield. Big BAM, they're looking so smooth. I'm not even sure how Dubstep, or not Dubstep, but Jesse Vash got taken away there. Dubstep, he got the kill with that jump out, but still Big BAM able to just use their numbers to their advantage. And as you mentioned, we are one step away from going into Breeze. And, well, the rest of BREN, they can't play this comfortably. They can't play this like they did with the other teams. They have to go up big now, or else it's going to be so difficult, I feel, to play on that game number 3. They had everything that was falling into their hands, and it's just BREN grinding. And we'll see how this pans out, because Big BAM, I did say that they could be a team that will struggle after the first OT, but they are proving me and us time and time again that we are wrong.
Oh, let's see if they can manage to break their way into that side here. Because it looks like right now, Big BAM, their defense has been more and more solid, cementing, building up like concrete. And BREN have just been trying to hit with a jackhammer. And they've been breaking through, chipping away, certainly, but a lot of it does feel like they really haven't found a definitive answer towards BAM and their defense right now.
They haven't really. It's more of just them trying to adapt to the situation. I think we also asked this from Big BAM yesterday. That was Red Neville that we were talking to. That it really is just how they kind of play around it. But with those flashes from Wits, perfect to get on the entry on the A side. Dorf has to go big, but that smoke just kind of blocks out his vision. He's contained here. He has to deal with Porkham first, which he does. Expends him quite quickly. Spencer holding the angle, but NTK brings it back. 3 versus 3, but it's all about the retake. And some of the members here of BAAM low with the HP. Wallbangs from Crazy Guy though, but they're gonna retake.
And this is difficult right here. Jesse Vash from Hell, that's not where you want the Sova. But somehow Dubstep getting the kill onto NTK. He's gonna manage to bring it back, and so will Jesse Vash. Crazy Guy, 1v1 right now. 14 HP, Jesse Vash left standing. You would never expect the Sova to be in Hell, but he gives away his position with a recon. And somehow, Jesse Vash takes us into another overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Oh my god, how is Vash? How is the rest of BREN just holding on to the knife's edge here? BAAM, they're like, give it to me already. Why don't you? Where's the win? Where's the win? Where's that W? Still denied that fact. NTK just wanting to keep his teammate alive there for such a long time. Dorf wanted to also get himself into that kill pool. Crazy Guy, he was so close, but Vash had all the information set to his sights already. That slow peek from Dorf will get immediately punished by Step here, the Dubstep. And that spike is nowhere near on the A side where the rest of the BAAM members have placed. But this is looking much and much better for BREN. Is it always a third overtime? Because third time's the charm? Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah, definitely here, but a change of pace. The Spencer looking to entry, getting up close, but it's gonna be NTK. Now he's looking to go and hold this post-plant situation, this off angle here in Hell. They might not expect him, but they do! And NTK and Crazy Guy have bought themselves a lifeline yet again. They want to take advantage here in this map. Third overtime, they've had enough. But with this spot out right there, Dubstep's only able to get 3, able to get 4! And Dubstep melts away. BAAM for one more round. The Pinoy Jet this time, the only one left standing for the Philippines, is keeping the dream alive up against Vietnam.
One
Switching
bullet,
sides.
no problem.
Match point.
The fadeaway shot to secure the round victory. 35 kills on Dubstep. Crazy Guy and NTK with 31 and 30 apiece. The blows being traded by BREN and BAAM. Just outstanding. And now BAAM, they're at that point in the road once again. A crossroad here. They need to step up once more. They're going to be the ones to stave off the pressure. They're back on the defending side out of regulation. But this is where we see BREN to be the most deadliest, especially now that Dubstep has joined in on the fight, on the push. This is going to be difficult because it seems that they're not going to be holding any more horses as they push into the A side. Oh no.
Oh, well, they've got the kills, though. 3v5. This is looking like it could be BREN yet again. And BAAM still on the back foot for now. But they've clawed their way out of situations like this before, Asarai. I won't say it's impossible because they've done it. They've done it time after time to take us to overtime number 3 here. But it just might prove to be too difficult this time, as it's looking like it's going to be BREN. But Crazy Guy keeps it still here alive for now. But with an operator in the hands of NTK, it might just be a little too impossible. The crossfires is good, the lineups are there, and they're just jiggle peeking and baiting for information, but Crazy Guy lands all to one, and it's gonna be BREN yet again. They take it in another